Alright, so I need to make a nipple to go off of my fuel pump here so I can attach my hose that goes up to my carburetor. And I went and got a piece of pre-flared tube with fittings on it, and I'm gonna give it a slight bend. So I'm just gonna use this bender to put a slight bend on it. Let me see how that looks. That's cool. That'll work like that. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my cutting wheel right here. You just kind of tighten it up a little bit as you rotate it. There we go. Now I'm just gonna deburr the end a little bit. Good enough. So this is just a form of temporary line. This will serve the purpose. That's all I need for now. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Jessica, do you like it? My love, she's pleased. I'm gonna just tighten this up. I'll put a few hose clamps on here. We're not running super high pressure and we're not running the engine for long. This is just a test fire it, so I ain't worried about it. Give me something to put a hose to. So like I said in the beginning of the video, I had an issue with the starter. Told you about that. We're gonna check the starter, make sure the starter works, and kick over the engine. See if the shims are working right. Hopefully it acts right. We don't gotta mess with the shims or nothing. And I also got the #1 spark plug hooked up, and I'm grounding it to the block right here. And we'll see if we got spark. So we're checking to see if this coil and power module is working. If we got spark, we're good to go. We'll put the rest of the spark plug wires on if the starter's good to go. And then we'll be ready to roll it out and hook everything else up to fire it up. Alright, spark plug, do your thing. We got spark! And the starter's working. So we're good to go. We can go ahead and set this up on the test rack and run the fuel line, put the carburetor on there. Right now, let's go ahead and just put the rest of the spark plug wires on here. And then pretty soon we'll be rolling it out in the driveway, depending on how I'm feeling, because I'm starting to feel flush and sweaty and hot again. Hopefully I can stay in the game. I'd really like to get this done today and edit this video today, but we'll see. But it's happening. It's going to happen. So I had to give this tube a little beat down after I cut the flange off just to fit up inside there, if you can see that. It's on, it's bolted in, pretty much ready to go with the rest of it, but I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna eat some pizza because I'm hungry. What's up everybody, welcome back. We've got the engine in the driveway now on the rack. We're getting ready to fire it up. I've been sick for 9 days. Every day I say I'm gonna do something, I ended up not really doing anything, but we gotta get this thing started. So that's what we're about to do. We're about to fire this thing up with the carburetor on here, wire it up, starter, battery, add some gas, and let's make some rumble. So again, the reason why I'm gonna start this engine up is to bring it up to heat and temperature. I think the lifters aren't loading up. The engine's been sitting for a long time. They're probably dry. It needs the hydraulic pressure, the good oil pressure to push those lifters up. And this carburetor's been sitting in the shed just as long as this engine. So I'm not trying to perfectly tune it right here. I'm just trying to get it warmed up, bring up the oil pressure. We'll put it back on the engine stand, take it back in the garage, and do another compression test. Hopefully, and I suspect the compression will become better. But if we still got compression issues, then we'll do an oil test where you put oil inside the cylinder, and that helps you determine whether it's a problem with your rings or your valves. So let's go ahead and put this carburetor on. It's a Edelbrock 1406 600 CFM. Yesterday I sprayed it out with a bunch of carburetor cleaner, put a new filter on it. Got all my spark plug wires on here, and the firing order is correct. I'll put the firing order up on the screen right now. The small block Chevy firing order. Alright, so I'm almost ready to fire this thing up. I got the battery wired, the coil wired. I got my fuel line on. I'm going to use this syringe to try to prime the float bowl. I'm going to send some gas down this fuel filter with the syringe. Because at first it's going to be struggling to get some fuel, so I'm going to try to get that prepared. I'm just going to drop some fuel right here and put it inside the fuel line too. There we go. Get some more. All right, now we got some fuel in the float bowl, and I'll use this when we fire it up, just to put a little on the top. Let's see what happens. We're about ready to go right here. You want to make some noise? Let's make some noise. Now is the time. The time has come. Ready or not, here we go. Oh, my wire popped off.
Johnny.
Got a little gas leak here. That's all right. That thing ran good. I had that timing set damn near perfect on the fly, so I'm happy with that. That sounded healthy. We'll let it cool down. We'll run it some more. We'll get that oil pressure up, get this thing heated up, then we'll do another compression test. Things is looking good right now, though. 120, 121. Not bad. Try to keep it from getting too hot. Bro, I nailed it. I nailed that timing. Hopefully we'll rev it a little harder. And I'd like to see some flames shooting out the back.
There were.
If it was?
Yeah.
If I rev it up hard and then drop the throttle, it'll shoot.
Yeah, the flywheel was like, I just got out of the way.
Cool. All right, everybody, welcome back inside the shop. I got the engine dressed down a bit, back on the engine stand. Let's look at our previous compression numbers. I'm just going to read them off randomly. I'm not going to read them all. We had a low of 115 pounds, and we had a high of 150 pounds. Mostly in the mid-range, 130, 140. I see 120 here. Let's see if by running the engine, heating it up, getting those lifters pumped up, get that oil pressure up. Let's see if we got some compression back in this engine. It did sound good. It fired right up, primed the carburetor. As soon as I hit the button, it fired right up, and it just kind of hummed along. It was I would call that a success. Let's see how we're doing on this end now. So let's hook up the battery. Oh, real quick, in case you're wondering what my button start is, all it is a button switch with 2 wires with 2 alligator clips, and I'll show you where they go on the starter after we hook up this battery. Alright, so this is my positive wire to the solenoid on the battery, and this is your starter switch right here. So I'm going to put the larger alligator clip on here, and I'm going to put the smaller alligator clip on this starter switch right here. And when I push the button, it'll cause the engine to turn over, and when I let go of the button, it'll stop turning over. Alright, so there you go. I got this alligator clip on the starter button, on the starter switch, and this one connected to the positive battery to the starter coil, or solenoid I mean. And then when I push this button, let's see what happens. Alright, cool. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Alright, so we're set up on we're on cylinder number 3 now. This was the worst one, 115 pounds. Let's see what we get. Come on, baby, give me 150. Ooh, it improved, but it's more like 130 now. Alright, so looking at the numbers here, number 1 cylinder stayed the same at 150. Number 3 cylinder came up 20 pounds from 115 to 135. Number 5 cylinder came up 5 pounds from 130 to 135. Number 7 cylinder came up from 130 to 140. Number 2 cylinder came in at 130. I don't know why I got 140 here. I think I wrote it down wrong last time actually. 130 on number 2. Number 4 came in at 130, same as last time. Number 6 came in 10 pounds better. It was 120 pounds last time, so 130 pounds this time. And then number 8 came in at basically 140, 139. So a 9 pound increase in compression on number 8. So we're still all over the map with this. We're looking at anything from 135 to 150. That's 15 pounds of separation in the cylinder pressure. And it's kind of all over the place, and that's not good. So we're gonna have to do some more stuff. Let me close up shop for now. I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned because there's more coming. We're gonna have to do some more tests on this to figure out if we got an issue with the rings or the valve train. Where are we losing that compression at? You know, it could be. I don't think that it's a head gasket issue. Maybe it is. Well, we're gonna have to find out what's next. So as for now, I'm gonna shut the shop down. We're gonna get into the lab and edit up this video and get it out because I haven't put out a video since last Sunday, which was what, 9 days ago, 10 days ago now? 10 days ago now. I haven't put out a video yet, but I haven't been able to work because I've been feeling like crap. I'm finally starting to feel better, so it felt good to get this thing out there and fire it up and throw some flames last night. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on the screen when we get in the lab and start chopping this up and editing this video. And again, I appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do here. It's going to be a process. Should I just buy a new engine? Should I just buy a new engine? Just get a new one? Or just take it to the shop and have the shop rebuild it? Or should I just do these videos because we're having fun? Maybe we'll do both. Alright? How about that? Let's compromise. Maybe we'll just do both. Maybe I'll get a 383 stroker and then we'll rebuild this for fun, huh? We'll see what happens. Stay tuned, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and stay burly.